Welcome to the Nutmeg Tavern. We are live. We have special guests, Natalie and Tara.
Hi.
And this is a whole special program. It's Monday. It's not Friday, so don't get confused. But we are here in the Nutmeg Tavern, and I'm your host, John Townsend.
And I'm insanely excited.
These guys are excited. Behind the bar is Ryan. It's been a while since we've had him behind the bar, and he's working on the drinks.
That's right. And they're going to be delicious.
They're going to be delicious. Hint, hint, we've already tested them out earlier today when doing another episode.
You can always count on my drinks being delicious.
He's made them this time. They're going to be completely different than how we did it.
When we did it.
Oh,
actually, probably even better.
It probably is a
Because I gave him some hints about how to make them better. Because,
we learned some things.
live and learn, do and learn, whatever all that stuff is. Behind the scenes, in a whole different room, in fact, in a whole different century.
So don't look.
The better century.
Back there is Aaron on the console, making sure the computer does all the stuff it's supposed to do, because we've already had to reboot it like 13 times today.
It's not going so hot today.
Kyle is in the hot seat, the question seat. Hello. And today we're not going to be talking history as much. If you want to ask history questions, that's okay. But we're mostly talking inside baseball, YouTube kind of stuff, because these guys are YouTubers, along with what we do here. And some people want to know just what it's like to do
behind the scenes.
Weird
see how
stuff.
the sausage gets made.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that.
Yeah. Today was it was tough.
It was
we had some video making to do.
That was the easiest
That-
video
are you
we've ever
really?
made.
Wow.
No, actually,
Nothing caught on fire. The street didn't blow up.
Well.
The equipment actually stayed on.
yeah. Well, that
So as far as we know.
As far as we know. You didn't have a cat jumping in every
We
5
are
minutes.
professionals. So.
Yes.
we've made a few videos.
So
it's
right
not
off the
too
bat,
bad.
you guys might want to scoot in a little closer to the mic. We just
sure.
have the one mic.
Yeah.
This is all
And also, before we get carried away, introduce yourselves, what your channel is. What
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's tell me about Natalie and Tara.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Tara, and we do a show on YouTube called Natalie and Tara Try Stuff. It's a show where we try stuff for the first time.
And we got introduced here because we had tried a Townsend recipe. We did the beef. I keep afraid of pudding. It's got pudding.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
The words
such a
don't
foreign word
necessarily
there.
go
I was like,
together.
Right.
pie.
We think pudding, and then it's not really.
Yeah. We tried that. I think it was like a year ago now,
Yes.
and they got sent over here, and Ryan sort of talked about it on the channel, and so now we have a bunch of Townsend subscribers over on our channel. The crossover is kind of weird, but you know.
Yeah, because we definitely do not know what we're doing at all ever, but we love trying.
Yeah.
So, what other kinds of weird things have you done? You did Pilates. And have you done skydiving or anything like that yet? It's crazy stuff.
We haven't gone as big as skydiving. Actually, when we get back into LA, which is where we're based out of, we are going parasailing for the first time.
Okay.
That was our.
Yeah.
That
we
sounds
hit-
exciting.
We hit a milestone, and that was the big ticket item for doing that.
Yeah.
We've deboned. Very first episode we did, we tried to debone a rabbit, which was a fail.
Who would pick that out for the first episode?
I don't know. It was a thing we could try.
I don't know. It was my idea. It was a really bad idea because we butchered that poor thing badly.
Well, isn't that? That's
Well,
the
I
idea,
mean,
okay.
like there was no meat to really cook with. It was a mess. But we've gotten good at allowing ourselves to not be good at things and to try things and.
Or else you never do anything.
Right. Well, I think the perspective that we've kind of fallen into is that we like to try stuff to embolden other people to try things that they maybe have always wanted to try, and it's okay to look like an idiot. Like it's all right to go out there and fail, and then sometimes we try again.
Yeah.
Which has
What have you
been-
failed the worst at, other than the rabbit?
Oh wow.
Worst fail.
We've had episodes that just couldn't air because
Yeah.
some technical issues, but also just we failed to make an episode.
Right. Yeah. The biggest fail is the fail of making an
You're just
episode.
like, you start out to do a thing and then you just don't record enough stuff, and you get done and you look at it and you go, I can't show you the Harry Potter pub crawl. Like I can't show
YouTube is not very hard.
Yeah, it is. Well, and there are many episodes that we've done that just didn't make it.
Never
like
see the light of day.
that
Yeah.
isn't worth it.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
was your worst fail?
Yes.
Whoa!
Hell.
Wait, what just happened?
Yeah. Hey, this
You
is a
just flipped it
trick.
and reversed it. Go
What
ahead.
show is this?
Aaron, what do you think?
Worst fail. I think there was an episode we did years and years ago that we ended up not airing, and it was to advertise. I can't remember what it was. It was some product, and we didn't really think through it. And then when we went back, it was like, that wasn't that good.
That's a lame fail. That's a lame fail.
Nothing's caught on fire.
Right?
Not really.
John and I have had a couple where we just we're on site and we try to fit way too much
Yeah.
into one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That all
generally
the
time.
your
Yes.
eyes are bigger than what
Yeah.
your stomach is for the video.
We did go flyboarding once, and I tried to do this. There's a trick. Flyboarding is a device that you strap to your feet, and they use a jet ski to push water out through the bottom, and you fly up in the
That
air.
looks scary.
It's terribly difficult because it's all from your ankles, which is not something you use to control a thing. So we're doing this, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it. And Natalie's cheering me on. They're like, try to do this dive where you basically bend in
No.
half and then shoot down the water and then lift up and fly back up through the water into the air. And I, instead of doing all of that, just crashed smack on my stomach onto the water, and it hurt. I was really concerned I was concussed
You
for a
probably
bit.
were. You probably were.
Yeah, that was, I could not continue filming after that. I was like, I'm good.
But it made for a good episode.
It did make for a good episode.
I don't think I've ever gotten hurt bad doing an episode.
I can't believe there hasn't been a fire.
Really, yeah.
Well, things catch on fire all the time.
But that's planned.
That's part of the deal. I mean, we deal with a lot of fire, so you're used to that.
Almost killed Aaron with a tree once, but that
Yeah,
was- that
yeah.
was-
There is the felling, but we took that video down.
Aaron almost killed me with a drone one time.
Oh yeah,
no.
that was crazy.
That was
Those things are scary when they stop listening to what you're telling them.
There was no unsafe
goodness.
thing that happened. Everything was good.
Everything's
Okay.
fine.
Going according to plan.
Yes, that is the plan.
part of the show.
Oh wow. Our biggest fails are my cat jumping into
Oh,
frame.
gosh.
Like I haven't seen there's not a Townsend cat running.
There is
around.
actually in Lauren's apartment. There's Andromeda, and
Okay,
she has come
okay.
into the live stream occasionally, but
She
the
doesn't-
door has to be open.
She doesn't
She's
knock things
allowed.
down and yell.
I don't know about. She's quiet.
We have Winchester, and if we're cooking in the kitchen and there's butter involved, we can't get through the episode without him coming up and sitting right in front of the camera to be a part. There's just no cooking
Buttercream
without
comes
him.
out and that's
No, he
Game over.
meows the loudest meow you've ever. So we've just had to make him a character on the show.
and people like him more than they like us.
Way more than us. Yeah, he has.
Chester cooks.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got his whole episode, his own episode today, where we took him to a pop-up museum where you just pose for Instagram pictures, and it's just all him. Like, we're just here, just trailing behind you as your entourage.
How are our drinks doing, Ryan?
They're coming along. Does
He
that
needs
look-
more time.
Does that look like the right levels to you?
More fluff.
More fluff.
More fluff.
Always more fluff.
More fluff.
Yeah, we want more fluff. Kyle, do you have any questions?
You know, I really don't. They're actually just. Most people are wondering who these people
Who
are.
are these people?
Are these people?
We're fans.
So
We're fangirling.
I have a couple things written down.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So, considering that both of our channels are so different, but here we are collaborating, where do you think the crossover is? What is the thing?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you guys, I will say that your guys' fans are so nice.
Oh my gosh.
And I think, I mean, when we did that first episode, they came over and they are cheerleaders constantly. Every
They
time
are.
they're constantly asking for more cooking episodes from us, which we're not good at. I don't know why they like to watch them.
Yeah.
But
That's why they like to watch
Yeah.
it.
they love to see us
They love to
fail.
Watch them fail.
But they're so nice, and they come over and cheerlead, and they also like they know so much stuff about so many things, and they're constantly like, actually, that's called a such and such and a blah blah, and we learn from our comment section more than we ever learn from doing a video. So
yeah,
it's
we
pretty
learned
interesting.
so much.
It
And
is.
also, I think that there's like both of our channels, I think, have this sense of joy about life. Like, we're not here to like make fun of people or do negative things. We're here to like make the world happier, be something, an escape for people to code to that's, not the same everyday thing.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we have
that's
that in
what
the
I see.
news. We don't need any more.
Yeah,
of
we
that.
don't need any
Yeah.
more of that. Like, I see in your channel, like, it makes me happy to watch it, and I feel better when I walk away from it. And I think people feel that way when they watch our show. They at least get a laugh out of us.
Right? Yeah. I think that's it.
Does that answer your...
He's
That
doing
was
mad
great.
science.
He's busy with
stuff
the,
now.
with the fluff back there.
I'm loving so well.
You gotta watch your volume, John,
Okay.
because you're spiking it because they're further away and you're
I'm just too loud. I'm a loud guy.
Yeah, which is blowing my mind. I'm very soft-spoken.
Sorry.
You guys aren't sisters, right?
No.
Okay, somebody
No.
was asking.
Yeah, we
We
get that
act
a
like
lot.
it, though.
We have a 13-year friendship behind us, so we have that give and take now.
And you spend that long together, you end up being family. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we travel a lot together, so after a while you drive each other crazy like your sisters.
I want to know what the whole dynamic is in here, like
Yes.
how everybody got to know each other.
How
Thank
did you all
sir.
get here?
That one is port.
That's a port.
Okay.
This one, no, that one's Madeira.
That's
This one's
Madeira.
This is a port.
Which
Here,
I
I'll
don't
take
know.
the.
who
I'll go
wants
this way.
what this time? And this time we sweeten them a little more.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you want to do Madeira or white?
I'll do the Madeira. I think the port was the earlier one that my eye twitched with.
There we go.
I think the pink is the port, and
I'm
the
sorry,
brown
Natalie,
is
what were
the
you
Madeira.
That's tawny port.
Tawny
Oh,
port?
I was asking
okay.
how everybody got involved in like
Yes.
Oh,
Real quick, yeah, their channel is in the description if people want to go check it. Definitely go check it out. They're doing really good stuff.
So we'll talk about the dynamic, but we're going to try these
Yes.
out
Yes.
before they go back. I mean, this thing, wow, Ryan, it's just like,
This is
whoa.
good.
Oh, this is thick
Good
too.
job.
That's
Right.
awesome. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna have to stir mine a little bit.
Yeah, these are syllabubs. And if you look in the future, I don't know what Monday it's going to be. Is it next
I'm
Monday?
thinking it's going
Monday?
to be a week, yeah.
Right. So we'll be doing an episode, and it will have the syllabubs in it. So what do you think?
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my gosh,
There's
it's
a
so
little bit
good.
more sugar in there. Is what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Oh, I like
Oh
this.
gosh, Sean made a mess. Don't look.
Oh no!
Nope,
no,
didn't see
that.
that. Didn't see it. That is really good. Good
It's really
job.
good. Yeah, I like the more sugar in it.
I'm making one for myself right now.
Gotta make a little.
That's
Him.
I think the people in the back are wanting to.
I didn't even hear anything.
Never does.
Yeah, like part of the whole thing
Woo.
of coming here and everything was one, we wanted to do the walkthrough of the storefront.
Yeah.
I just thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, we
part
wanna-
of our try stuff sometimes is just travel episodes, going places for the first time. But then also we're so interested in like the behind the scenes of your channel as well. Like I think even though you guys have this Nutmeg Tavern, there's still so many things that like I don't know. Like your dynamics or how people got involved with the whole thing because you stick to a topic most of the time.
Yeah.
Our live streams are always just crazy and whatever happens happens.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan worked at the Blue Line Coffee House that was right behind here. How many years ago did you work at the Blue Line?
I feel like, well, I worked there for 4 years, and so it started probably 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So Dave Taylor has been a guest on the show, in the tavern a couple times, and we've roasted coffee with him, and he was my boss at the Nutmeg Tavern.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I got to know the Townsend
Nutmeg on it.
folks. Yeah, and I came on board here about 5 years ago.
Awesome.
Aaron's worked here for basically forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you were
my
born
whole
here?
working
Family friend.
Yeah, I've known Townsend.
I think Aaron
since I
got
was
me
like
hired
10.
here.
Oh, really?
Oh really?
Wow.
Well, I was a reference, and I gave you a positive.
Slightly positive.
I didn't know Ryan that well, but I was like, oh, dude, he's cool. Yeah. Alright,
I don't mind spending a lot of time with him.
sure.
Kyle, a fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Connected
Oh,
with us.
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Had no idea that they were here, and I only lived like 20 minutes away.
Really?
Oh, wow.
If I remember right, you came in to buy a tomahawk, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I gotta figure out how to get a tomahawk on the airplane.
We can just
Don't
ship
worry,
it to
it's
you.
really easy.
Yeah. All you gotta do is carry it on. No
Fine,
problem.
no big deal, right?
Tara's not
Just
making it
put it
back
in your
to
belt
LA.
loop.
So what else were you doing on this trip?
Oh, we were in Chicago for a film festival called Windy City International Film Festival. We do short films as well, and so we had one that we wrote and produced and acted in that was screening there.
Yeah. And when we realized how close you guys were, we're like, we can't be that close and not drive down and at least go see the store and like maybe do a little video walk around of it and stuff. So we're really
So what we did was during our live stream, we told all of our fans that were crossover fans, we're like, guys, we're going to go to the Nutmeg Tavern on next Friday. We need you all to show up. And then when we say, hey, we're coming into town, will you guys all chime in and say, yeah, you should totally let them go to the Nutmeg Tavern. And they all
That's
showed up.
what happened.
yes.
It's late. You can't
we're
kick
like,
us out
yeah,
now.
you can't kick us out now. But we figure like 1 or 2 will show up. It'll be fine. It won't seem weird at all. No, they're so supportive. They all showed up.
All of the crossover ones.
Is this
were
true? This is true?
This is true.
It's absolutely
That's what we
true.
did. We had it all set
we
up.
had no idea it was going to be such a big thing, and like so many of our crossover fans showed up. And we're like, oh God, no, guys.
It's a trick. I knew
We're
it.
so embarrassed now.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys. Cheers. So funny.
That's funny. Yeah. So, okay, you guys have tried a few of the recipes from our
Yes.
channel.
Uh-huh.
Did they turn out? What were the pitfalls and what was your favorite?
The mushroom ketchup is just the most amazing thing that's ever
Brilliant.
happened in the history of the world.
And if you haven't made it as a viewer, please go make mushroom ketchup. It's a great beginner recipe, and it tastes incredible.
And
then-
there's some good variations you can do with it by choosing special mushrooms
Yeah.
or doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that, and then the one that didn't work out, we did the hardtack, and our pitfalls are that we just don't have. I mean, it is. There's there's things missing in the recipes,
Right.
and so we make the wrong choices. When they're like, how big are these supposed to be? And then I'm like, yeah, ours are just you can't. It's a hamburger patty. They're too big. So you don't.
But you use a hammer anyway. You
Oh,
don't
yeah, yeah.
actually
You couldn't-
try to eat.
Well, we did.
No, we did because, well, we
Was it-
just had to try.
Was the ketchup the what was
No, that was inspired by mushroom ketchup. We wound up going down this rabbit hole with ketchup because mushroom ketchup was so good, and I'm super obsessed with like historical cooking and a bunch of other historical TV shows about food and stuff where they try it. And I'd heard of garum. Like,
Yeah,
well,
oh, yeah.
that's a ketchup for them. I knew that. So like, well, what other ketchups are out there in the world?
It was a grape ketchup.
Grape
And a
ketchup.
beer ketchup was out there. Oh God, they were terrible.
Ketchup,
No.
Captain's ketchup, or also beer ketchup, I have like visceral flashbacks to it. It was so bad. It was so bad. And I don't recommend garum either.
Did you do walnut ketchup?
No, we didn't do walnut ketchup. That is
Is that
that
good?
Is that what we're
I haven't done it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done
Okay.
it. It's a period thing. It's a very
The
common
grape
period thing.
ketchup was just jelly.
Yeah.
And it just turned in. It was just a jelly, which is fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It just it was. It,
But it's
yeah.
not
But it
ketchup.
didn't taste good on fries.
Yeah.
That was the test. Does it go on fries? If it
Now,
doesn't,
this
then
might
doesn't-
work on fries.
Oh yeah.
The syllable?
Oh yeah.
At least compared to that.
Yeah.
well,
All
yeah.
compared.
Comparatively, yes. Yes, for sure.
That's funny.
Did you have another magic question back there,
I
Ryan?
probably do. Right now I'm like scarfing
I got a
down
couple
syllables. So.
Did you say you had one?
I got a couple, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Have the ladies ever done campfire cooking?
We haven't done. No. But we have. There's another channel. Cowboy Kent Rollins. Do you know Cowboy Kent Rollins?
I've heard of it.
He does cooking for on the ranch and out for large groups of people. And we've tried his Cowboy Kent Rollins Campfire Coffee, and then we do intend to try his. He's got an upside down pizza that he does in a Dutch oven. That just sounds amazing. But we just living in LA, like using campfire stuff is not easy.
Yeah.
Like I do want to figure out how to do a setup. The whole thing, this entire Townsend, our love of Townsend started because my boyfriend really wanted us to try to make an earthen oven, but doing that in LA is just we were talking about it earlier.
Sticks. Yeah.
There's no sticks. Your first step is like, so go gather
get
some
sticks.
sticks. And I was like, but where?
We don't have
Like,
sticks.
I'm gonna go to the craft store and buy a bunch of
Buy
sticks.
popsicle sticks and make an earthen oven with popsicle
That's
sticks.
funny.
It doesn't work out.
Yeah, but you do have a ranch out of town, out in Utah, that we do want to go up there, like maybe just get a bunch of recipes and go up there and just try
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of campfire cooking. Because I love the
I would
idea.
love to.
And the Dutch oven is so neat. Like we just don't have a space for it really yet. Yeah. Though that putting the coals on it. Like you just make the coals really hot and then
Yeah.
you just put the coals on. I'm like, I could figure that out somehow
I'm sure
in
we
my
could actually.
backyard.
Yeah, we could do that with like onto the driveway.
Yeah.
Although when we did our camping episode, we burned a hole in my grass.
Did burn a hole in the grass.
Yeah. We
also-
almost set something on fire.
Oh my gosh. So when we're doing a camping episode, we don't know what we're doing. We're trying to learn how to light a fire. Like, and we have a
In my
person
backyard.
in her backyard. We're trying to make a fire in LA, and we have a person off screen, and we have on there disclaimer: we don't know what we're doing, adult supervision, and we're trying to figure that. And nonstop in the comments are people like, "How can you not know how to make a fire?" And I'm like, "That's the whole point. We don't know.
Yeah.
You're making me crazy." So funny.
We know now.
Now
we
we know.
understand. You use Doritos.
Yes,
They're flammable.
They didn't have them in the 18th century.
It's
so.
actually true. Yeah.
very true. Very true.
It's fun to see you guys try to make a flint and steel fire.
Well,
Oh yeah.
that I really want to do. You showed us the flint down there, and in the shop, and now I am super keen on this.
Yeah.
That was very exciting. We almost lit the shop on fire.
Well, at least my hair.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
There were a couple sparks.
Oh, it was very exciting.
So I wrote this question down because it was thinking about like YouTube type of conversation.
Uh-huh.
So this is for everybody. Aaron, chime in too. So thinking about big projects, I think we all want to do like these. We want to go bigger. We want to go bigger. What's the biggest project that you've done, and did it work out? Like, do you think that it's worth doing those big projects for the YouTube channel? Not for yourself. Like, obviously you're proud of yourself for getting huge projects done, but for the YouTube channel.
For the show itself.
Yeah.
We started doing a series within our channel called Scene Stealers, where we recreate scenes from old movies. And we did a scene from The Shining and stuff. And just within our house, we try to do it as true to it with this right angles and all that. And those take up a lot more time. And I would love to be able to do more of those. And part of that is just us learning how to do lighting and stuff just from doing it, because we're learning on the fly. But I don't know that the audience cares for them. They're like, oh, thanks for that. Like, go back to your Try Stuff video.
Yeah. I mean, people come to the channel and tune in because we do a Try Stuff show. But we're also actors and writers and producers, and we will spend exorbitant amounts of time making a short film, and our full intention of putting it on the channel. And I'm not always so sure like anybody even wants to watch that. They'd rather watch me do a belly flop into the water.
Right.
Yeah, so the challenge is like we do make really good work, and when people do watch it, they really do enjoy it, but they may not necessarily click on it because it's not a part of our usual Try Stuff show. So that it's challenging.
I think it has to do with what YouTube is too.
Yeah.
Because YouTube isn't short films.
No.
Yeah, it's really
and it is something else.
not. Yeah.
Something
And that-
Sometimes it's something weird, but
That else is always changing.
right,
Yeah.
right. So when if we try to do a movie or we try to do a short, and then I do a baked onion video, it's like he baked an onion.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, the art languishes in no watch zone. Yeah,
right,
everyone's watching
right.
about baked onion. Yeah.
Right.
And it's always hard to tell what's going to hit.
It is.
Like what video. We constantly edit something and go, no one's going to watch this. And then everybody likes you testing minerals or
really?
breaking geodes. And you're
Seriously,
like, why?
yeah, we did a whole thing about this, and I'm halfway through editing. I'm like, I called her in a panic, like, no one's gonna watch this. No one cares about rocks. I care about rocks, but no one else cares about rocks. Like, no one's gonna watch. It's gonna be a dud. And it did better, like in the first couple of days, like on all of our YouTube algorithm metrics and stuff, than our usual episode. I'm just like, I don't understand. I really don't know.
What do you think about those big projects, Aaron?
I think there's projects where the shooting is like huge and complicated, but the editing is really easy, and then there are some where the editing is where it gets real. Like for today, for example, this one that we shot, like it feels like, oh yeah, that was just a normal like cooking video, but I'm already thinking like about the editing, and it's like, oh, this one's gonna be great. Well, people will see why when we post it, but I'm trying to think, okay, how can we all put all this together? But the original question was, what was the biggest project, or what?
Well,
Sorry, I'm doing like.
Oh, that was more for them, but just like I guess, are you generally happy with the big projects? Like, I'm thinking about things like Log Barn, and that was big on both sides. Like, that was, John and I shot for, I think, a week. And then we brought it back to you and just like, here you go.
Right.
No,
I
I think
spent another week on it, and then it went.
Okay, here would be my answer on that. Like, there are certain videos where it's like you just got to do it because it's like worth doing and it's really well made, and it might not pop, but you have to still put big projects on the channel just so it's just so you have stuff there that's like, oh, that was impressive, you know what I mean? And even if it doesn't pop, as like, you know, baked onion that went like viral and it took us like 20
Is that your
minutes.
biggest baked onion?
Is that your
no,
biggest?
no, okay.
No, fried chicken's still the biggest, but baked onion was
yeah,
up
that's
there.
right.
And it
Right.
literally took me like 2 hours to cut, and it took maybe a half hour to shoot.
Oh, wow.
And it just blew up.
Right. So here's the real difficult thing, too, that we have to realize is that we tend to judge a video by how many views it has or how many minutes watched it has or comments or thumbs ups. And none of those things actually matter because a video might get 10 views. But if it was the right 10, right? It did the right thing for 10 people, an amazing thing, then it was totally successful. But we just don't know about that, and we don't get that kind of metrics from YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
So-
funny too because like I can still I don't run camera enough. Aaron usually does that, and you guys have been working together for so long. I don't run enough that it's like just muscle memory. So for me, every project I can still look at like, oh, I learned this, and that's why it's important to me or whatever. But
Oh, yeah. Ours is normally learning what not to do. Every time we find another thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't do it that way. Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. I think that our videos have gotten to the point to where they are now because we keep going, okay, well, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. It's never a like, oh, we want to do this. We keep eliminating what we don't want and making it easier, but also making it good. So, yeah.
Kyle, you got a few questions there?
Yeah, kind of.
More of who are they?
It's all the same question. Who are those?
Who are those women?
One question wants to know how you guys became friends. Is there a story behind it?
Do you want to take the story?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We met in an extremely very Hollywood way. We both were friends with improvers, and something that actors do in LA when they're improvers is they meet up at a party and they all improv together, which is kind of, I think, the lamest
nerdiest
thing you
thing
can do
to talk
at a party. My God! So we kept trying to be a part of the thing, and we didn't know each other, and it was mostly men, and they just kept tagging us out of the game, like not letting us play essentially. And so we both ended up in the kitchen, just sitting there drinking and talking about Monty Python. So, like, flash forward a couple of days later. Natalie is in a live all-female cast Monty Python show, and they had a dropout and they need someone last minute. So she calls our mutual friend and goes, "That girl I was talking to in the kitchen, what is her name? Because I don't remember. And what is her number?" And she cold calls me and says, "Do you want to be in a show? Because we need somebody." And that's kind of from there we did the Dead Parrot sketch together, and I think we found an immediate, like, really good give and
Did the
take.
animator die or something like that?
No, he was sacked.
Yeah. We did Dead Parrot together, and we discovered our natural give and take, and we've been kind of doing Dead Parrot ever since.
Yeah, we just keep living on that same note of Dead Parrot. It's the same kind of banter every time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's not really a question, but this guy says, I subscribe to both channels. My question I guess it is a question. Why don't I read the whole thing first? My question is for Natalie and Tara. First of all, I love you all. Why don't you go to a rendezvous sometime?
Who is that?
Yeah, who is it?
Sorry,
Is it Gordy?
Is
Is that Gordy?
Gordy.
A rendezvous. I don't even know what that means.
Well, he's
Reenactment.
an event, and he's sort of
Oh,
circle.
like a meet. I mean, like a
Is
meet
it that
and
they
greet type
call
thing.
the?
Or,
Okay.
But you guys have to dress out, all,
They
So,
can't.
oh,
Yeah, like
I see
a
what you're saying.
reenactors. Is that what
Yes.
they call it? Rendezvous?
Is that what it's called? Rendezvous?
Ooh, I
Sometimes.
would
Okay.
do that.
I would be scared to do that. I'm always so scared about not fitting into a world that I go into. Like this show. I mean, doing this show
Isn't this
is
all
hard.
about doing?
I know, and it
is always pushing ourselves.
It is always.
Yes.
So is it just constant anxiety before every?
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
But
yes.
it is because I
doesn't-
don't want to ever offend anyone with my lack of knowledge, or I don't want to step on something that into a landmine that I didn't know was there. Say the wrong thing and now I've offended them, or and so it is. That's why I end up doing so much research when I'm going into doing anything, and I still don't have any idea what I'm talking about once I do it. But I know more than I did walking in because I'm so nervous the entire time.
Well, your
But-
first Ren Faire, you were so nervous. So we went to a Ren Faire together for the first time and filmed all of it. And poor thing, she comes dressed appropriately for a Ren Faire, and I show up as Where's Waldo? And she's just like, oh no. I'm like, no, it's fine. I love Ren Faire.
So
it's
we were
fine.
the center of attention
All
the
day, and she did not enjoy it. But now your second Ren Faire, you went back, and it was much better. We didn't make it better. We went as Bill and Ted, but like
We did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure at the Ren Fair.
But we had a brilliant time that day.
I was much more comfortable.
Yeah,
But I walked into the Ren Fair and got accosted by a woman going, "Why aren't you having fun yet?" And I'm like,
No, I just have a resting, not fun face. Yeah, well, it does. We're always so careful to be respectful of the world we walk into, and so sometimes we get a little nervous about it. But I would totally do a rendezvous. That would be fun. I just have to wear the right clothes, and I won't come dressed in something silly. Promise.
right?
No cat faces.
No. Promise I'll behave myself.
Yeah, I want to know what this cat con was all about. What was this thing?
We found out about it last year. There is a convention in Pasadena, right outside of Hollywood, that is a cat convention. It's called CatCon, and it is all things cat related. And so for the channel, we were like, we have to go check this out. We have to go see.
We missed VidCon. We weren't going to go to Comic-Con. There was some other big con, WonderCon or something. Like, we're not going to do any of that. So we decided to go. I think we put it up to our subscribers and said, do you want us to go to CatCon? And of course they did. And like,
Yeah, you have to.
what if we treat CatCon like any other Comic-Con and dress up in full costume to go? And brilliance again. It was so much fun.
Was there anybody else dressed funny?
There were people
few.
in costume, and that was another one that going there, I was terrified that we were going to offend somebody, like that we were making fun of it, or we weren't going to,
Yeah.
I had that anxiety. I remember
It's a cat con.
I know, but
still.
still.
But like, I called a couple of friends who were involved. I was like, we're thinking about dressing this way. We dressed up in 1980s cat costumes, basically.
Yeah.
I called them. I was like, is this going to be offensive? And they're like, no, you have to do that. I'm like, okay. Now Natalie is on the billboardy stuff. All the,
I know, somehow I ended up in the
you ended
pictures.
up on all the pictures. Well, you wore a cone of shame.
I
so.
did wear a cone of shame.
All right, so
Where do you find human size?
It's just I have
Big
a small.
dog.
I'm
She's
small.
a- oh,
yeah,
all
it's just a
right.
big dog. It's just a big dog one.
I was thinking,
I went to a pet
Do they
store
have
and
people
was trying
versions of
them
that?
on.
Yes, completely normal, guys.
so what's the pie in the sky to try? What's the thing?
Oh, well, this was it.
This was
You guys need to aim a little higher.
right. Going to Townsend and like meeting you guys was like that was like a year ago like dream, like, oh my god, would it be so cool if we met the Townsend guys? Isn't that amazing? Never thought that would happen.
and now you're very disappointed
And
because
now-
it actually happened.
We were very deceptive and worked it out somehow.
I think big travel ones are probably like the hard ones that like will cost a lot of money to go foreign places and film stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Hi, Kitty. Sorry, you can't see this, but it's adorable. No.
That's Andromeda.
Oh, my
She's a
whole
good
world just
kitty.
changed.
Come here.
Hi, little baby.
just got
Well,
cat
I don't know.
flowers.
I'll make them for you. Come here, honey. Come here.
You'll-
Hi, baby. Come here. Oh.
You want to do some donations while we try to get
Yeah.
this cat?
Yes. Is anyone still watching, even though we're?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like a
It's
normal-
actually, the number has gone up since
I was
Andromeda
so
came
scared. Like, they're not
Yeah.
going to want to see us. We're not even dressed in the right clothing.
Cats
They're
made it
gonna-
go viral.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
in. Yeah, we are viral.
All right, I'm gonna read a couple donations while we get that cat on someone's.
There you
lap.
go. The cat's on.
Baby.
There we go.
Hi, baby.
That cat still scares me. It's so big.
Oh, you're so fluffy.
It's
Sometimes
it's
it
a
ends.
fluff.
Sometimes
so
it ends up
nice.
in this
Really?
office, and I don't know. Just
Yeah.
Friends
so
are
little.
Man, one time it was in the
Oh my
storefront
gosh.
window when I unlocked the door, and it scared me so bad.
No joke. My first
You were
week, I
so
was up here in
friendly.
the sewing room, and it ran across my leg. I had no idea it was there. I almost
God.
went through the ceiling.
We're haunted.
Gosh.
Baby.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
it.
bye.
So
Bye.
donation.
What you got, Aaron?
Okay, here we go.
Oh my
For
god.
real this time. Jeremy Bousquet, thank you. Can you give a shout out to my wife, Erin? Shout out to Erin.
Oh, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Ira McKenzie, thank you. Logan C, thank you.
Thank you, Logan.
Thanks.
Hey guys, I've been enjoying telling everyone about visiting the store 2 weeks ago. Really enjoyed talking with Ryan and Aaron when I was able to do a tour there. Really enjoying the videos. Right on. Thanks for
Thanks
swinging
a lot.
by. Yeah. That's all I got for right now.
Excellent.
Okay, I've got a question.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, right? So you guys do things like, we're going to try parasail.
Uh-huh.
But you also do things like we're gonna try to fix a car.
Yeah.
So like
That worked out well, huh?
No.
It's
You're working
still
on that
running.
Blue Mustang. You're
It's still
going to
running.
get in
That's
there
not it.
and wrench on that thing.
so there's like there's a super big. We're gonna travel. We're gonna do
Yeah.
this, and down to like I mean, it seems like it could go as low as we're gonna try to sew on a button. So
Yeah.
how do you determine what's worth trying?
Oh,
Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, we have some, like, I'm going to say the word metrics, but that's not really it. We kind of look at what's coming up, like time of the year or holidays that are coming
Theme
up.
it a little bit.
A little. We look at what shows are we really into right now that might be a fun tie-in. Like when Bob Ross popped back up on Netflix, I begged Natalie to let me paint a Bob Ross with her because I really wanted to try that. We also have parameters like we know every month that we want to spread it out so that we can make as many people happy as we can. So we do an art, we do a cooking, we do a travel, we do one thing that's like really big and exciting, like going flyboarding or fighting like a
sailing,
knight or something. Yeah. So we try to like it's a balancing game of like, you know, we have so many different kinds of subscribers and just kind of like keeping them all happy and making it interesting for everybody as much as we can.
Yeah.
And then also at the end of the day, it's what do we want to do? Like
Yeah.
what either scares us, what either have we always want to try but we've been too scared or nervous, or what sounds genuinely interesting to us, because we won't just do something because it's what's cool on YouTube right now. We want to do something that we actually genuinely care about. So it's kind of why the show slides all over the map, because we are completely different kinds of women. So, you know, it's always like, all right, we're doing rocks for Tara, and then next time we're going to eat some weird stuff because Natalie wants to try weird food.
Oh yeah, I always want to try the grossest food we can find and stuff like that. And Tara hates those episodes.
Oh no, I Hakarl, I almost died eating Hakarl. I didn't even
Sounds
try.
like how
I
you
couldn't
say
get
it. I don't remember.
I can't.
That's rotten shark from like
Iceland.
It's
Where they
not,
bury it?
Not
You guys
good.
ever tried stockfish?
Stockfish?
We were hoping to still have stock. Well, John, we talked.
Oh,
John
I
out
still
of it.
have some
We
stockfish.
talked John out of it.
Oh, I don't do fishy very well.
Oh,
You would love stockfish.
No. We tried to eat, we had a whole smorgasbord of, I'm going to say it was Korean delicacies.
Oh yeah, when we went to try live octopus. which is
Yeah.
an interesting-
Live octopus.
Well, it's not.
Not
just,
really.
It's just moves because you put salty stuff on it.
Yeah.
You know, like the same way frog legs will kick if you.
So raw.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
raw, very
Raw
very
octopus.
raw.
Right. And
But it's
our-
called live octopus.
Yeah, and our fear of being disrespectful came in again, and so we ordered a lot of things, and then our fear of being disrespectful kicked in double hard.
So we just kept eating.
When we realized we couldn't eat this food, and we're going to make ourselves eat as much as we can, and we had sea squirts and abalone and
sea cucumber
abalone
and- yeah.
insides and all kinds of things that
And-
I not for me, and I was so sick for 24 hours because I just couldn't not eat the food.
Because it made you sick or anxiety made you.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Oh,
everything.
God.
Probably everything. Okay. Well.
But that was a fun episode.
Oh boy, wasn't it
Jeez.
fun?
But then also it comes down to the question of like what how do you end up picking though? Also like what can we make an episode out of?
Right.
Like we talk about sewing a button on and stuff like that. Sometimes it's really hard to do the small stuff because there's just the two of us, so getting another camera in there. We've finally gotten a setup where we put Tara's phone on something and like get the down shots. But like there's been things like people do nail art, like fingernail art, which I don't care about, but we've talked about doing it. And like I'm like, how are we gonna people aren't gonna be able to see that. Like it's
Yeah, it's too small.
And so it's
Well, you've got a GH5 now, so you can get a macro
Oh
lens.
my gosh.
Yeah, oh my god.
Right.
That was
Yes.
nuts. The macro on that thing is fun.
Oh boy. I just gotta figure out how to make it record first.
It's a big red button
Yeah,
on
there's
the
a red
top.
button on it.
Yeah.
You're the friendliest cat I've ever seen.
What'd you think, Kyle? You got more
Love
questions?
you.
Baby.
Somebody said that you guys should try to make a dugout canoe next.
Is that what we should
They can't find the branch where they are.
Yeah, they can't even get a twig, much less a log.
We'll send you home with a log. I'm sure John has a couple.
We'll
Love
get
your
that hatchet
gumption.
in the
I love your gumption. I would not, if I could find a log, I would definitely give it a go. It would take us probably a year.
I've got a cat trap right here. It's trying trying to get me to pet its belly.
It wants you.
I know
Yeah.
not to do that. Lose my hand right now.
I have a question.
Yes.
For you two. What do you think is the for people who are like who want to start getting into YouTube or starting a channel? What's some advice for, you know, when you kind of hit the wall, the creative wall? What do you two normally do?
Ours, I was gonna say ours is a little bit less a creative wall as it is just being exhausted.
Yeah.
Like you just keep going and going and going. And then there's creative walls that happen because you just keep going. What am I going to do next? But like the idea of just keep going.
Yeah.
Like and that is luckily with the two of us, one of us is normally there to like encourage the other one. Like I don't want to film today. You know. Like,
Yeah.
We have to.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why a team helps out a lot. I think.
Well, I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, with our channel, we're able to, you know, look through historical documents and cookbooks and find things to do. With you two, it seems a little tougher where it's like, well, I don't know, it could be anything, and
Yeah.
you gotta lock
Right.
it in.
I would think it seems like at some point you would run out of history to cover, but I guess you guys aren't having that problem at all.
There's so much.
Like you guys,
We haven't even really started.
You
Oh
scratch
yeah,
the surface.
that's
Yeah.
because I
Really.
keep like, oh, and they're doing that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like it's always
Yeah.
I'm like that, like the Quill episode. I haven't got to sit down and watching it, but I can't wait. I'm so excited that you guys are
The
doing
Ink
that.
episode is out right now.
Oh
It's
my
happening
God,
right now.
I have to
I
go
just
watch
posted
that
it.
right now.
Right, he just posted it.
Yeah.
So we got people watching that and people watching this.
You dropped a
Kinda
video
wild.
while you were doing a live stream.
Well,
Yeah.
a few minutes before.
before. So you guys, I know you started making content to support the products that you were making for the store, but I missed the part. Like you guys were talking about the live stream, but I completely missed it where you guys switched over to doing cooking episodes.
Transitioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did the movie, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The poster back there.
Yeah.
And then we got done failing with that. And we said, "Wow, you know, let's do that over again. Why not do it twice?" So we spent 3 weeks doing a short after that, and that didn't work either, and it was very
Discouraging.
it was very discouraging, very
yeah.
discouraging. And so we just sort of, while those things were still playing out, we said, well, you know, let's just go back into the idea bag, you know, and I'm flipping to the idea bag post file, and it's like, oh, we could do some cooking episodes. Let's do some cooking episodes. Let's just figure out about 6 to do.
Yeah.
And boom.
Yeah,
That was it.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is after looking back, we had actually done a cooking episode about 8 months earlier, 9 months earlier, and it did really well.
Yeah.
But we were dumb enough not to have realized from that one, oh, that's what we should
But
do.
you've got
right?
something.
Yeah,
Like,
And
oh,
when,
this is something.
and when he says really well, it was like if you looked at it on a graph, it would be like,
Yeah.
hey, dummy, do you see that?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So
And we just kinda
sometimes
kept going,
you
you
just
know?
think, oh no, that was a fluke, or I
Right.
don't want, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And really, it's like, no, that's what we were supposed to be
Yeah.
doing
And
right
it,
then.
it kind of seems like, and I don't know if this is true, like once you guys keyed into the cooking thing and like rode that for a while, now you've freed yourself up to explore other things. Is that how
Right.
you guys are feeling?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on that. I think in YouTube world, there's 2 things that you need. You need a good personality, but before that, you need good consistent content. So what we did was we had this niche of like, okay, they do cooking shows. We didn't want to just do cooking shows, but that's what we did to gain the audience. And whenever we would dip into things that weren't cooking, it took people a second to go, oh, well, I don't know, it's not cooking. But as I got to know John more over the years, at this point, John can cover different topics and people will follow along with him.
Right.
But it
Well,
took
that's
a while to
fantastic.
get to that point, even when the channel was fairly popular. Like we would try something else out and people would be like, oh, I don't really like that. It's not cooking. Even though it was still
Yeah.
us, still the
Yeah.
same style of video, music.
See, we're
And-
doing ours exactly backwards. Where instead of doing one thing and getting people to like us because we do it, we are like us, and then maybe we'll find a thing that we actually like doing.
Yeah.
We'll do everything. It's the
The-
exact opposite.
But the good thing is you guys have the personality to do it.
You think
Just
John
gotta
doesn't
get
have a
that.
You sing about
personality?
John.
No, he does. That's what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry.
You guys remind us so much of John. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan.
So you guys, for you, like, what's your big pie in the sky that you want to do? Like, what's your dreams?
Oh.
Like, we're gonna jump out of an airplane someday, but I don't know how you're gonna do that in the 18th century.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
much more difficult.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I think hitting the million's going to be pretty crazy.
Where is
That's
that
going
now?
to be really crazy.
Where you at now?
9:15.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow, it's so fast.
It's going so
Yeah.
fast. I'm so excited for you guys. That's amazing.
Some of the stuff that we've got on the back burner planned, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we
There's
have
the log cabin
Right.
building and a whole. Let's go further than that. Sort of build a whole homestead. There's the big canoe trip that is 4 or 5 days on the water and going
be
100
amazing.
miles with multiple dugout canoes and that coming up. Let's
That's
hope.
awesome.
Let's hope we survive that. If we survive that,
Wow, yeah.
well, who knows?
Well, the homestead thing for me is really big. I think probably just because I started filming with Log Burn,
Yeah.
and I want to do that here. But another thing for me is that I would like to build our interview videos up
Yeah.
to the point where when a PhD is putting out a book on history, we're like a stop on their book tour.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that would be really cool.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, there's long form content that we're continuing to work on.
Right.
So a lot of fun stuff, and there's so many historic sites to just go and talk to the people about what. And there's just the number of experts that you can talk to, and just it's incredible. And you don't run out of history. There isn't any.
Yeah.
There's
Well-
no like, oh, I've hit bottom, boring.
Well, you can only research so much on, like, you've got the thing that you're really stoked about, and you research the heck out of it, right? And then you get into a room with somebody that loves history and has no idea what you're talking about because they've been so busy researching this other thing, and those worlds collide, and it just gets nuts. So.
I do
Yeah.
find that fascinating, and that everyone's becoming an expert on one thing, and so that when you guys all sit together, you can make a pencil. Like that's the whole thing is that no one can make a pencil now because it's being made all over the
Yeah.
world. But getting everyone together that knows how to make all those pieces, except the cat.
Yes, she's tearing it up out there.
Oh, look at her.
She's like, I'm gonna so trash this
Oh,
place.
yeah.
Kyle, you have any more questions before we figure out how to sign off here?
I actually had a question. Do you guys ever worry about?
Yes.
Every day.
Do you guys ever worry about like duplicating things? Because I know that there's other channels that essentially do the same thing that you guys do.
You know, it's so funny. I know that there's the Try Guys, and
Yes.
they were on BuzzFeed before they became their own channel, and I didn't even know they existed when somebody came to us with this idea. The idea of doing a Try show together wasn't even our idea. So when we started, I had no clue, and because we've done it, we've kind of stumbled into like finding those channels, and people have compared us to Good Mythical Morning. They do a similar-ish. But even though we don't do it the same way that they
Right.
do it, like there'll be another historical cooking show, and I'm sure that they don't do it all the same way
Right.
that you do it, and you have your own style. So even though you could do the exact same episode or same idea, and I'm sure that we would come at it from a completely different angles, and there's room enough for both of those on YouTube to exist because people are going to search their interests, so they're still
Right.
probably going to watch it, I think.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, if your thumbnail's good and your taglines are great.
Yep.
You can feel pretty solid on that. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, how many songs use the same 4 chords? I mean, it's like it's been
Oh, right.
recreated
Yeah.
100,000 times, and
Yeah.
it still is going to be.
Do you
Putting
use those
twist
same
on-
4 chords? Do you use
Absolutely.
different
No.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I find whichever ones sell, and then I don't sell them because,
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do some donations real quick. I just got a few. Thanks everyone who's donated so far. Okay, where are we at? Lumpy Thumb. Thank you.
it's a great name.
Yep. Just want to give thanks to Kyle for giving me and my daughters a tour of the shop 2 weeks ago.
There he is.
Also,
There you go, Kyle.
Right on.
No problem.
Also, thanks to John, Ivy, and Josh, and everyone for being so accommodating. These gals are a hoot. 2 donations from Keltoid 5. Thank you so much.
Keltoid 5.
There
Thank
you
you.
are.
Okay, the first one is, what were your first impressions of Townsend's from the drive up to the building to right now?
Uh-oh.
And then
Oh boy.
18th century hot air ballooning. Is the other.
I would do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Impression. So of course I had Google mapped it and like looked at the outside. And it looks smaller on Google Maps than this building is huge.
It's huge.
But like I said, we were driving up here. so nervous. Like we were.
Yeah, I think every time I thought about this leading up to our trip here, I was like so overwhelmingly nervous. Like, I'm gonna look like a fool.
And then we walked in, and Kyle was really nice to us. And then I think we just kind of started to relax. It was like, okay, he made us coffee. Like, I was like, it's a way to our heart. Just make us coffee.
Make us coffee.
And then he made us syllabub.
Hey.
That's Ryan, by the way.
Yeah, Ryan. By the way, I caught it.
I didn't hear
I mean,
myself.
I would be
She's
nice
looking
too
at
if
you.
you came in
You
too.
didn't
So
make it. You did.
I was just gonna let it roll. It's okay.
Well, you're looking. I did the same thing to Aaron earlier. I'm looking at Aaron and I'm saying Ryan. I'm like, ah.
For some reason, people think Ryan and I are brothers. I don't know why.
I didn't know they thought that.
I never heard that
They're
before.
saying
Oh
it in
my
the comments
gosh.
right
In the comments,
now.
you just can't see it.
That's why I'm stuck over here. I just didn't know.
Yeah, so was it scary?
Was it scary at the? Oh no, it was.
It's a big letdown. They're like, what
No,
is
I'm
this
still
place?
kind of nervous.
Bunch of rookies.
At any moment, I'm gonna say something stupid and get kicked out.
No, I mean, obviously everyone's as nice as they come
gosh.
across on the internet.
Oh, how was the food? I wasn't there for the tasting.
Oh, it's delicious.
So good.
Yeah,
Any
everything.
spoilers?
Yes.
Dude.
Did-
Spoiler.
So almost nobody has got to see the actual German kitchen. You want to tell them about the German kitchen experience?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
got to drive out to your property and that on this. I mean, what you guys said it was a chicken house before? or
Yeah,
something?
it was a chicken house,
It was
yeah.
been transformed and everything, and it's fun. Like this behind the scenes thing of you walk in and first thing you see is not really period. But you open the door and it's just a room, and then you turn to your left and it is this gorgeous German kitchen, and you turn to your right and this gorgeous German
Just a
sitting
sitting
area.
room,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so cutely decorated, and it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. That whole room. I was gonna say that the tavern's a little bit smaller than I expected. You couldn't have a large party in here.
We've had 6 people in here at
Yeah.
once.
Really?
Wow.
That was gnarly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild.
It was
6
warm then.
people.
Yes.
Warm now.
Yeah, right.
The fire's always stoked really high.
Yeah,
my
the
goodness,
problem is the
Lord.
fire
You should leave
burner.
the fire on during the summer, guys.
Yeah.
We have any heat wave.
Oh, but it's so beautiful. It's so well put together and well
Yeah.
crafted. Like, you always wonder when you look at a set piece, like on camera, it will look beautiful, and then you get there and like, that's painted on brick.
Right.
Like, that's not real at all. But this was beautifully done, and
Yeah.
just so lovely.
The cat's gonna
I
try
am
to knock
so
over.
distracted by this cat right now.
Hit that tripod.
She's
It's
like
gonna-
trying to knock over the
She
camera.
wants that tripod.
Aw.
She thinks
She
it's
says,
all
somebody
about
pet
her.
me.
It's okay. 'Cause it's time for a farewell anyway.
Farewell.
Yeah,
So long.
long.
anything you guys want to plug your
Yeah.
channel again?
Their
Yes.
channel.
Natalie and Tara is the channel.
It's very easy.
Very easy. Our main show is Natalie and Tara Try Stuff. If you typed in any variation of those words, will pop up. Yep. We post every Friday, and we go live.
If they're gonna come watch the first video, which one should they watch?
Yeah.
Oh. If you want a crossover, you should go watch our. I've always forget meat pudding.
Beef pudding.
Beef
Yeah.
pudding.
Yeah.
It was called meat.
You want to see
anyway.
a
That's our first. That was our first Townsend try. We've done hardtack, and we made the switch. I think that same day though. So that'll be the first one to watch. Otherwise, our biggest hit was us doing the Bob Ross paintings. That was.
If you want
Oh.
a cooking episode, the Swiss roll we did the Swiss roll from the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, right.
That's in the same feel and tone.
Yeah.
And in that we don't do it well.
Yeah.
Our roll cracked. It was not good.
Well,
It's not easy.
truly, most people
Wait.
doesn't turn out
I
perfect.
know we've got to sign off, but everything so far, it's like, yeah, we don't do it well. What is something that you nailed? Like it was
We're
awesome.
always so surprised when we do though. When it turns out
nailed?
really well. Butter.
We
made
nailed
killer
butter.
butter.
We made amazing butter.
No,
You know they have it at the
I
store.
know.
It's
It's actually surprising how well. You know what the pudding turned out really good.
Actually, yeah,
it
it
I mean,
did.
we had some pitfalls along the way and everything, but it still ended up working and being edible, which was amazing. Because we had never done anything like that before. But we do. I mean, the Bob Ross paintings turned out well. I mean, they
really did.
They, for the most part, are not fails. It's just that
Okay.
there's many failures the entire time, and then somehow it still works out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, somehow we still get there in the end.
Okay.
But
Though
it's-
it's the journey getting there that can
I
sometimes
mean, like
be.
the Swiss roll was very edible, but
Yes.
it wasn't gonna present well. Like, but we did learn what we did wrong. You know,
well, and if you're trying it for the first time, who gets it perfect the first time? Who gets anything perfect
I
the first
assume
time?
everyone on YouTube
No.
does. Like,
No.
that's what their
That,
final
well,
cut is.
that's something that we're always talking to people that come to the store about because
Right.
a lot of people will say, "Oh, I really want to try a recipe, but I'm nervous. I'm going to get it wrong."
Oh, do
So I was
it.
like, "Yeah,
Do
you're
it.
probably going to get it wrong, and that's
Yeah.
okay."
Yeah, and
That is the
everyone
whole
gets
point.
it wrong.
Yeah, that's the whole
They
point
got
of
it
what we're
wrong in the
doing.
time period, and not everything turned out perfect every time.
It'll
And
eat.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's time to close down the tavern. Ryan, thank you,
time.
thank you for the wonderful syllabubs and
Syllabub.
your work on that. Aaron, thank you on the console. Kyle on the question box, thank you. Natalie and Tara, you did a great job.
Oh,
thank you
gosh,
so
thank
much
you.
for coming.
Thanks for having
and-
us.
having
This was
us.
so
Right.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
much
Love
fun.
it. Thank you guys out there for your amazing support. All you do supporting us in so many different ways, sharing our videos, commenting on the videos, sharing with Patreon and Super Chat and everything else. Thank you for all you do, and thanks for watching.